Units Castle and Cage, proceed with handwritten notes.
Fellas, I'm ready to get up and do my thing.
Is it on me?
You're back?
Yeah, I'm back. Here we are. Ready to do my thing.
Hold on, you are?
Oh, yeah, I'm Cage. Yeah. I was like, what are we doing here?
All right, back off the break. This is Castle back on patrol here, and the mechanic is here with us.
I am here.
Awesome. Yeah!
Fixing and mixing.
Thank you for coming. Okay, we're going to give not only the mechanic here a view inside the jail behind the cell block. Last time we sat down to record, Cage and I, it was an epic failure. We've had two big failures. We try to plan everything and nothing works. When we show up to record, we have a plan and it doesn't work. We just keep fumbling our way through it, and we appreciate you listening. So what we need you to do on top of that is to subscribe to this dang nonsense, and hopefully it puts a smile on your face. Hopefully it relieves some of your stress about the job you're doing out there, whether you're police, fire, EMS.
Like. If you listen, if you hate it, click like. If you love it, click like. Those are your two options right there.
And subscribe. We're on iTunes, we're on YouTube, and we're on Podbean. And we're on Spotify.
Yeah.
We are also on. We're also on Spotify if you use those Android phones.
Units Castle and Cage, proceed with handwritten notes.
We tried to have a few conversations in the last recording that just failed epically, and all of that conversation I turned into a little bit of a news segment that we're going to launch off right now. And let's just jump into it. Here we go.
Here we go.
This is the fraud report. Bill Bryan of Homeland Security briefs the president on the latest coronavirus research, including new potential remedies for infected persons.
Mr. President, really the virus dies the quickest in the presence of direct sunlight, and I can tell you that bleach will kill the virus in 5 minutes. Isopropyl alcohol will kill the virus in 30 seconds, and that's with no manipulation, no rubbing, just spraying it on and leaving it go. You rub it and it goes away even faster.
In Donald Trump fashion, the president speaks out loud.
So supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light, right? And then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside, or so that you're going to have to use medical doctors with? But it sounds interesting to me.
The following audio clips will now be played for your entertainment.
You rub it and it goes away even faster.
Supposing we hit the body.
Falsely reporting comedic information from a virtual world that doesn't exist. And now, we send you back into the studio with Cage for more information about remedies.
I need those hits! Hit me!
That was awful. Man.
You know, with the pandemic, the coronavirus is out there.
The virus.
We were trying to find a funny way about this whole disinfectant injection thing.
Supposing we hit the body.
It failed bad.
That was awful.
Sounds interesting.
It failed bad.
Well, did you see today? I tried to get you to look at the article where he was saying he was being sarcastic.
We're moving on. We're not talking about. We're doing this. I'm putting my foot down. We're doing this my way.
Yeah.
What ended up happening was Cage. He knew we were going to talk about that in the last recording. He designed himself a little audio drop, which I hope. Do you still have that? Yes or no?
Of what?
Man,
The one I just played?
no. The controversial one. Don't play it yet.
I don't know if I have it. I'm not organized. If you haven't can't tell by now.
Well, we're going to move forward. If he doesn't have it, that's even better. I just told the audience.
Like, what do you want me to do?
We just told the audience we plan everything and everything falls apart.
Yeah.
Listen, we are straddling the WL line, man.
Everything's charades with you. Like, if I was go to the store and get those, they sell them at ballparks and you put them in buns. They're delicious. You can put ketchup and mustard on it. And I'm like, a bratwurst, a hot dog, a sausage. Yeah.
All right, very good, very good. Here's what happened. we were trying to find a funny way to talk about the remedy that was suggested in the news clip that we just played.
I do have it.
Okay, well, don't play it yet.
Okay.
Hold on, we need a little bit of this first.
That's Lysol.
Yes.
Okay.
Listen, we've cleaned out all that bad juice.
Okay. That bad juju.
That whole thing, we played that because Cage ended up playing a little audio drop that I had zero clue about.
No clue.
I had no idea what it is. Now, here's the funny part. Today, when we knew the mechanic was going to show up and just sent a text over to the mechanic in a group chat between Cage, and I said, do you know what this particular thing means? And we're going to get to this particular thing here soon. And he basically said, no idea. And then Cage responds, well, he needs some context.
Exactly.
So you're complaining I didn't give you any context, but last time we recorded, which is not going to go to air, I had no context.
It's going in the vault. Going in the vault.
The damn trash can in the vault. Go ahead. With no context, go ahead and hit your drop.
Mechanic.
I feel like the bus is coming.
Mechanic, do you know this sound?
He needs some milk.
No.
You never heard that?
No.
Oh my gosh.
No.
I'm clapping my hands over my head.
Your card is revoked.
Okay.
Hadn't heard it.
He needs some milk.
Poll question.
All units proceed without delay. Vote on the poll question.
Do you need milk?
No.
Do you know where that sound bite come from?
No.
If you've seen the video or just a summary of the video, vote yes. If you haven't, you have no clue. Well, Castle designed the question. You know how to answer it.
Everything you just said for the last 15 seconds sounded as boring as possible.
Terrible.
When they're talking about milk, what they mean is a remedy for bath salt. So we're just going to put it on a poll. Do you know what milk is?
They know what milk is.
They're only going to know the answer it the right way if they listen to what we're talking about. Do you know what milk is? Yes or no?
Yes.
If you're high on bath salts, milk apparently is a remedy for bath salt.
Allegedly.
Here's how I found that out. In the recording that's going in the trash, that we're never going to hear. We were talking about this and just kind of chuckling about even this, just a slight suggestion that, injecting a disinfectant. We thought that was a little bit funny. We were trying to find the funny in it. And then Cage drops that milk thing on me. And I'm like, well, what does that mean? I have no idea what the hell. Why is he drinking?
He needs some milk.
Who needs milk and why do they need milk?
So I'm not the only one.
No. Well, after the recording epically failed, he went home. I was laying on the couch crying. And he sent me the video. The video that he sent me where that audio comes from, where there's somebody who's high on flakka or like a bath salt, something along those lines, and they're just freaking out. And the lady's just like, hey, give him some milk. Don't give him water. Give him milk.
You gotta give him milk.
And at first, I was even trying to process that. Like, why? Wait, water's good for everything. Why are you not giving the guy water? Why is water bad? Because water solves. Listen, water solves the world's problems. Does it not?
I agree.
Tussin.
I agree.
So Tussin,
you got to rub it on it.
Rub some tussin on it.
Mo Tussin.
When I was in the scientific method of solving this issue, he brought up the Tussin. Tussin is a comedy skit. That's what helped me understand what milk is.
Chris Rock has a comedy skit where he's talking about tussin was the remedy when he was growing up. His dad would say, you can break your leg, rub some tussin on it. You can go blind, rub some tussin on your eyes. Apparently, Jesus had a bag of tussin in his back pocket. It was like, just tussin. There you go. You're healed. It's just the same thing with milk. It's like, hey, give them some milk, rub some tussin on it. We all had it growing up.
Well, perfect. But that helped me resolve those issues because I was thinking milk, water, why is water bad? I mean, I couldn't figure any of this stuff out. Today we got the mechanic involved and he doesn't know what the heck he was talking about.
Yep, over the head. Yep. Hadn't heard it. Over the head. Hadn't heard it. Over the head.
Mechanic, do you know this sound?
Hadn't heard it. Over the head.
Mechanic, do you know this sound?
Hadn't heard it. Over the head.
Give him some milk. Give him some milk.
No.
Units Castle and Cage, proceed with handwritten notes.
And now we're going to a whole nother thing. everybody has that one thing you run to whenever you get hurt. Mine is Neosporin. It's like, oh, I have a
Yeah,
bad.
we use a lot of that. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, I need stitches, but I think if I put some Neosporin in it, it's gonna stop the bleeding.
Well, I epically fall back on my Marine Corps days.
A tourniquet.
No.
Just rub some dirt in it. Just rub some dirt in it.
Charcoal.
No.
Gasoline.
You know, rub some dirt on it. That's probably the World War II, Vietnam stuff. For me, it was like ibuprofen and water.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that solved all the Marines' problems in the 1990s. Ibuprofen and water. That was it.
In basic, it was like, I got a cracked nose, and they gave me ibuprofen in a Band-Aid.
You rub it and it goes away even faster.
So we did the fake news report. Now we have those drops to use. We have the rub it. We have the rub it drop, and we have the.
Supposing we hit the body.
But in the end, you know, as we were trying to figure our way through that, I told Cage.
That's horrible.
Then he gave me a little.
Can I get a break, man? Ain't one of these.
These handwritten notes are sworn testimony of Castle and Cage.
I love how you take the time to type all this out. I hold it in my hand. When it's time to record, it's like...
We have
the man is prepared.
5 sheets of paper in our hand. We have made it halfway down the first one.
Exactly.
My God.
It's like I'm on the stand and you have your notes and, you know, the DA's asking questions and you're like, I know it's on this page. All right, just give me a second. All right. Okay, no. 5 o'clock. It was 5 o'clock when I seen the vehicle, sir. All right, and then what did you do next? And you're like, okay, what did I do next? Let's see. I stopped him.
Yeah, completely believable. The Top Secret Son has chimed in.
Oh, yeah.
We are recording. And I just want to let you know on the show that you failed me earlier today. So thank you for that, and I'll give you a call back as soon as we're done recording, brother. Okay. All right, man. Love you. Talk to you in a bit.
Love ya.
Crash response team, report in.
Oh, this is all you.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
All units proceed without delay. Vote on the poll question.
Lots of poll questions on this during this episode. Nosy homeowners.
Oh.
When you're investigating a crash.
See that cup of gasoline? You just sit back.
Do they always take a long drag off of a cigarette before they talk to you?
You talking about witnesses?
Nosy homeowners. When you're investigating a crash.
Oh, and it's like in front of their house.
Do they always take a long drag off the cigarette before they talk to you?
I'm trying to think. I'm gonna answer mine now. No.
Okay, well, too bad because the answer is only gonna be yes or yes.
Yes
or yes.
Nosy homeowners. I like how you're investigating the wreck and they just happen to come outside and they gotta wash their windows that day.
Oh, yeah.
Or the dog needs to go take a poop in the yard and they're just staring at you the whole time.
A 15-minute poop.
It makes you at times lose faith in humanity. I mean, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it.
Or you remember we were in Oldham country and the vehicle was overturned.
You know, I wanted to write stuff down about that because that was an epic 15 or 20 minutes.
15, dude, people were coming out and it was like, man, we should have been just selling cupcakes or something.
It was like a circus. We were definitely center ring, right? And there was a parade.
We were the ringmasters.
Yes.
Yeah. And we were just like, okay, look in this corner and you'll see the jumping jack performers. And over here you have the Tigers standing on two.
Yeah, led by Joe Exotic.
Yeah.
It's a show at that point. It's a show and you are the performer.
We are the performers. Exactly.
Yeah.
You ever had somebody come out and try to tell you how to do your job?
Oh, God. Oh, I could. Oh.
I've watched.
And it never works out well.
The Godfather, the man in charge. I've watched him go at it with a guy who's trying to tell him how to load up a car. Mm-hmm. Man, it was like all I heard. The last clean thing I heard was, "Let me tell you something."
when it starts that way,
30 years, you were still in diapers.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't get Big Jim fired up.
Yeah. Man, and the dude's looking at me for help, and I'm like, "Oh no." You put yourself in the
Yeah,
situation.
you keep your mouth shut next
Just
time.
keep your mouth shut.
That's one thing I have always learned is I will never tell a man how to do his job. I might offer a suggestion if I see that he needs it.
Yeah.
But until that point, no.
You are the and our mechanic, and that's why you're here, because we appreciate your friendship.
I appreciate the way you're getting all your money back that I took from you.
Well, I'm not a crook.
The man doesn't hold a grudge. Doesn't hold a grudge.
Doors are always open.
We appreciate your dedication, and I wish I had you there with me when I encountered this scenario that I hand wrote some notes about. But you could have gave some great advice to the record driver who showed up with a Bluetooth headset in while I was trying to talk to him. He was on the damn Bluetooth and just kept walking around. I'm like, what the?
Oh.
I went and just had to grab the guy by his shirt. I'm like, hey, I'm talking to you.
Yeah. I like how they're talking on the Bluetooth and they just start talking.
They're talking.
And you're like, huh? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And they're like, throw the finger up. They point to it. Like,
When they point, what I absolutely want to do is just
Snatch it out?
No, I want to arm drag, double leg takedown, and just ground and pound.
Ground and pound.
But we've already answered this question, but we're putting on a poll anyway because we want the audience to get involved. Do you hate the guy with the Bluetooth? Yes or yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
With this scenario here, the crash response ends with the vehicle's crashed. I arrive, but there's a suspect who wasn't driving.
Oh, yeah.
The suspect is never driving a stolen car when he's still left at the scene. So, again, that's going to be a yes or a yes. We need you to vote on all three of those poll questions. All the answers are going to be yes or
yes, and it wasn't his pants. Exactly. Those aren't his keys.
All units proceed without delay. Vote on the poll question.
Did we ever talk about the big tractor trailer that morning? Oh, yeah, that was the big fiasco where I kind of avoided an early call. I took early calls for you, trying to be a friend. Yeah, we're going back in time on that.
That was episode 1 or 2.
I think about
That's
it.
how we started.
Yep, I think about it every time I drive past that spot. I'm like, man, I was a good friend that day. I took early calls for him, and he still ended up getting called out. And his situation was bigger than mine.
Speed enforcement operations.
Your turn, sir.
He's not paying attention to the notes.
Listen, our job for the show is to handwrite these notes. Now, I took the liberty of printing them on these, beautifully scripted
very
sheets
neat.
of paper. Yeah.
Very neat, I might add.
I feel like you got somebody to do it for you.
They're in our phones, man. Our text conversations. Well, actually, he was supposed to prepare a group text message segment between the three of us and review the nonsense that we three have been talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure he doesn't have that ready.
I do. I was waiting.
Okay, well, go ahead and discuss your speeding stop.
Hold on, let me finish reading. Yeah, I am on the stand right now.
I gotta refresh myself. Hold on.
Exactly. Yeah, Your Honor. Your Honor, I was headed south that day. What am I going at here?
Man, no, we're gonna start over.
I don't know.
Would you stop?
Time to change.
Woo!
Disregard and disengage.
The McDonald's driver's license.
Oh yeah.
Hold on, hey, listen.
Speed enforcement operations.
Never mind. I'm not even gonna do it.
Thank you. Just talk.
So I'm going on the road, east and west through the
Intrastate.
Interstate Highway. Yeah. I'm in the left lane. I'm driving the big tank now, and it's like you can't miss it. It's a billboard. So he's beside me. He creeps up a little bit. I kind of look over at him, thinking I don't feel like dealing with this. So I go back to looking forward, and he's driving. He keeps looking over at me like I'm going for it. So the guy passes me, man. I pull him over. I had to do it, and I'm like,
I want to interject here. And I put this in the notes if you read them properly.
I didn't, but I was going to get to it.
Why are people always passing you? I've got to know Why?
I don't know. It might be a way if I see them coming up and I already know, hey, that guy has somewhere he needs to be. Let me go ahead and do the speed limit, the absolute speed limit.
Well, we all have a different poop mag.
I don't think he, I didn't bait him in. I mean, it was just,
Sounds like he kind of did.
Yeah.
like he played the chicken game. He went past me. So I just want to say, hey, there's a speed limit out here. So I'm like, let me just see your driver's license. And as he's reaching, he's shaking a little bit. He's kind of, the blue lights do that to people. I'm not
shook.
He's shook. I'm not yelling and screaming.
Warrants do that to people too.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's
warrants.
So he's commencing to hand me the license, and I smell fresh brewed hot McDonald's coffee.
Hey, order up.
Yeah.
I look down in the center console. Coffee. No lid on it. He's just one of those guys. He's a no litter.
It's brave is what the hell he is.
He takes risks. He speeds and he drives with hot McDonald's coffee with no lid.
McDonald's coffee.
Probably just has it over his lap, one hand in it. Left hand on the wheel with the phone in the left hand and just gripping the wheel with the pinky with the coffee.
Yeah, he ain't using Siri.
So I'm like, hey, let me just see your license and everything. And I'm already in my head, I'm like, social distancing, probably going to take a picture. Well, I don't have the phone on me.
Social distancing.
So I'm like, all right, let me see your license. And man, it was just perfect time. The stars lined up and he goes to hand me the license and drops them in the hot coffee. So he drops them and it's almost like you can hear the plastic just searing like So we just have that little 5-second stare. I'm like the drill sergeant now. Oh no. So we had that 5-second stare. We're looking. He stares at me. I look at him like you owe me 500 push-ups right now. He just looks down at the coffee, and I could just see him shake his head, and he goes in. He just takes his fingers, and he just dives into the coffee, and he yells, ouch! And I'm thinking, I didn't make you do it, Well, he could injure himself and put his hands in the hot coffee, and he pulls them out, and he goes to hand them to me. And a little bit of coffee is still on the license, dripping,
man.
and it's hot. I can see the steam coming off the plastic. His fingers are red at this point. So he's trying to, and his hands are still shaking. So he's trying to hand me the license. If he really would have said, what do you want me to do?
I'm not wasting this coffee. I'm going in.
I'm going in. My job's done. Be safe. And I just walk off.
Units Castle and Cage. Status check.
You listed in the notes, quarantine kids. You apparently had an encounter with some babies in the car seat, in the back seat. Go ahead and get into that for us. Because there's some of these text messages that we've exchanged involved in this. I'm throwing you a bone. And again, just for the general population of listeners out there, about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I asked them to prepare a segment from scratch about the text messages that we exchange with each other. Because again, that's one of the reasons why we started this podcast, is because we would do these texts and these phone calls amongst each other, just bouncing, laughs and jokes and at times some serious things off of each other. And
Can I just stop you right here?
No, not yet.
I didn't do it.
No, I didn't say not yet.
Okay, I didn't do it. All right.
Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah, the people know. They know I didn't do it.
Units Castle and Cage. Proceed with handwritten notes.
Look, flat tire. We're going to start out with this. If you get a flat tire on your vehicle, if it's on the left side, don't pull up against the median wall.
Yes, we've talked about that a couple times. The guy I saw got his leg cut off. Yeah, it's dangerous. Here's a good actual public safety awareness. Not only law enforcement officers, paramedics, firemen. If you're just an average citizen, stay off the wall. Also, be cautious where there's the bridges, the underpasses where you drive under the bridges. The wall's narrow. It's a dangerous area. 2 dangerous areas. Now, we've done a public service for the world. We're good now. Go on.
Yeah. I'm thinking average citizen. What is an average citizen? Do you base it off financial income, social status?
No, we need a better... what I mean by
everybody.
Saying, just to clarify, the average citizen in my definition, in Castle's definition, is the person in the car crash. Just in general, they're not a first responder,
right.
So they don't understand what it's like to be a police officer, a fireman, a paramedic, or even if you're a record company owner and you have to come out to the scene and recover vehicles, because that's just as dangerous in many ways. So that's what I mean about the average citizen, because the mechanic's view on some of this stuff is very similar to ours, because he's in just as much danger as we are.
Absolutely.
I say the average citizen is the person who has ball tires and they wreck in the rain. And they say,
tail light out.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. The car lost control. The water must have got under the tires. Man, it's crazy. It's slick out here. Woo! You're the average citizen. If you break down and you stand on the fog line texting for help, trying to call Uber or AAA, you're the average citizen.
God has placed the destiny into the hands of the American people. God bless America.
Perfect.
These handwritten notes are sworn testimony of Castle and Cage.
So that's what happens in this occasion. The quarantine kids, there's a flat tire. They're up against the wall.
Against the wall.
So the kids are in the back seat, in seats.
In the back seat. They're in child restraints. And the parents are up front. Just smoking cigarettes. And texting on the cell phone.
Sounds interesting.
You pull blue lights in behind.
Yeah.
You make the approach.
Make the approach up.
The only thing protecting you is your patrol vehicle.
And faith.
Patrol vehicle, blue lights, and faith.
And faith.
Yes, just a prayer to the Lord that you're going to survive.
Mainly that faith.
You first encounter who?
I'm hoping it's the dad, unless she tells him otherwise. But yeah, he's the apparent man, the man of the vehicle. Well, he wasn't even paying attention. You know, I walk up and he's so far into his text. First thing I said, this is what I say: hey, you need to pay attention. And he jumps. He's like, "Oh, you scared me."
So you approach the vehicle. He's on his phone. He had no idea you were even coming up.
Even his partner, who we'll say is his girlfriend, she was texting away.
So we're just assuming that it's a mom and a dad with two kids.
Yeah. The only people that had the awareness that I was there were the babies. Their awareness level was like, they were waving at me like, thank God you're here. You know, he could have killed us.
That's great. The other one. Oh, no. God, yeah. Oh, no. Perfect.
But yeah.
Chaos.
So,
oh, God.
I could see what's going on here. So I'm like, hey, man, you know, your back left tire is flat. And he's like, yeah, man. And I'm like, so what are we going to do about it? And he's like,
oh, I got help on the way. That's who I'm texting.
So I'm like, how far out are they? And he points to the next exit up. I'm like, well, what does that mean in distance, time, location? You know, let's narrow it down. Exactly.
I'm calling for it.
Like he's pointing to the fences. The old Babe Ruth.
Oh, man.
Okay. He's like,
they're coming from that town off that exit.
So I was like, all right, well, how long until they get here?
Well, let me text him and find out.
So he commences to type, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going ahead and calculate in my head probably 10, 15 minutes. You know, I'm pretty much, relaying the message to you guys because I'm like, man, look, this is what I'm dealing with right now.
You recover to your vehicle, to the safety of your vehicle.
Yep, exactly.
And you're distraught about the nonsense you've encountered. And you decide to start a group text. No, I want you to understand.
It's spreading.
It's spreading.
Yeah.
It's
contagious.
Tactical way to say this. I retreat back to the vehicle safely, in cover. Because I figure that tractor trailer that hits me, it's not gonna hurt as bad if I'm inside the tank.
While you're texting.
Yeah, well, dude, it's timestamps. If something happens to me, you guys know where I was at. You can tell the story. Hey, he just texted us this, and he got ran over by a tractor trailer.
Oh my God!
Trying to do a good deed.
It's a good idea.
Exactly. Timestamp. Y'all have good things to say at the funeral. He went down a hero.
Okay, so you were, during this entire encounter, you managed to take an image, photograph, a digital imprint on your phone, a digital picture of this suspected man, the suspected dad, and
the alleged father.
Yeah, the alleged, and describe.
These are the people that's going to be on Maury. They'll be on Maury.
Describe what the hell you took a picture of.
I got too much stuff to remember.
Did you not listen to the 20 shows before this one?
Uh-huh.
No, you didn't.
I
Apparently,
did.
no.
I just, man, look.
Somebody hates slides.
Somebody hates slides. I got too much stuff to remember.
With socks on.
With socks.
Hold on.
What, the slides and the socks? I mean.
Your Honor, we the jury find co-host Cage guilty of killing the show.
I'm doing my duty here. This is why I'm here.
Well, no, you're doing horribly at it. So what his notes say, it says, then Cage added picture. He sends a picture of a man standing in between the wall and a vehicle on the interstate. 3-4 lanes there on one side only. So numerous vehicles, numerous lanes.
Yeah.
And what was on his damn feet?
He's wearing socks and slides.
That's a violation of the highest order. That's a violation.
You hate that. Yep.
I almost wore some tonight.
Socks and slides. And you know what, man? Now that I think about it,
hate it.
That is so dangerous. You ever wore socks with slides?
Never.
Man, there's no grip. There's nothing saving you.
Don't try to stop quick. Don't try to accelerate quick.
You will break your ankle every time.
This goes back to what I said about the slides from the start. Okay, unless there's a threat of water and swimming, men should have on socks and shoes at all times unless there's a threat of swimming or water. Period.
Oh, man.
Listen, this pandemic, it kind of came out of nowhere. You got to be prepared.
You got to be prepared. You got to dress like you're going to be stranded.
Oh, my God. Good point, though.
Units Castle and Cage. Report of suspicious activity.
I went to the mailbox. The worst experience I had with socks and slides, I threw on some slides. I had on a pair of socks. I'm like, I'm just going to walk from here to the door to the mailbox. As I got to the mailbox, I had to do a complete 180 to turn around and open the mailbox. Because the curb kind of slants up, I slid backwards out the slides. And all I could see was a car coming down the road.
Oh my God.
I had to grip the mailbox and hold myself because I was sliding out of the slides downhill. And I'm like, no, I am not about to
Not going out like this.
That's pretty bad.
Units Castle and Cage. Proceed with handwritten notes.
Well, I'm going to help you get back on track with your story that you wrote.
I got it.
That actually happened to you after you sent the picture out of the slides and socks.
Well, the mechanic replied something about a death wish in there. Like
the mechanic responds with
somebody had a death wish.
Text, but it really sounds like this.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And basically, I mean, dude, so the ride shows up to come pick them up, and they're on the left side. I went back up there because I already knew that the passenger, the alleged baby mother, was going to open her door and walk out in the left lane.
Wide open,
the hammer lane. And probably just keep the door open as she unbuckles the kids out of the back seat.
This is where your presence was absolutely needed, and you were sent there for a reason because of what happens next.
Yeah. Well, what I saw was just a shift in weight into the vehicle because no, okay. I remember just asking.
But she extracted herself by crawling across the center console.
I was polite and asked.
She was very smart in doing so.
Are you able to climb across the center console? And everybody shook their head yes. So she crawled out and just kept crawling out. I mean, I'm just gonna be nice about it, you know.
So she came out, and there was more that followed.
Yeah. Try not to be mean on these things, man. It's just the stuff we come across.
Yeah, we can't help these things that happen to us, the things that are said, the things that we encounter.
I see a lot of it.
The mechanics out there with us, enduring some of these things.
Units Castle and Cage, with D mechanic on rotation.
I'm trying to find a place to end this because I know we've been at this a while.
Oh, yeah, we're all going to be getting that text message soon.
Yep.
Oh, Lord. Oh, hold on. Let's see
What you got?
Well, I was going to ask you earlier, could you understand what this was when I played it?
Me?
Yeah. You don't understand.
No, I don't.
Every time I play it, I'm like,
I can hear it now.
You can hear it now?
Now that I know it's, oh,
Oh,
Lord.
yeah, Lord. Oh, Lord. Yeah. Yeah.
Attention all units. There's an open mic on the channel. Check your radios and stop transmission.
It's buffering. What do you want me to do?
Will the wife laugh?
Oh, yeah, yes. I hope.
Probably at me, not with me.
Oh, that's even better. You just take it. Trust me. They'll hear the episode and they'll laugh and you'll be good.
Actually, as you're talking about that, here's a good point to bring up. What we're doing here is to help people who do what we do. You're an absolute important part of that. Just like so many other police, first responder, record company owners across the nation, across the globe.
I thought you said record company. I'm like, what?
Get
Side
the
job.
James Brown ad. Oh, Lord. Get
Side
the James
job,
Brown
side
ad.
Yeah, side job. Motown.
You still encounter everything that we do, the same people in dangerous situations as traffic zooming by. So yeah,
Right.
you're part of the whole thing, man. But here's what's important is we're doing this to bring light, bring a smile to the people who struggle with stress, anxiety from seeing horrible things.
Right.
You know, some of those people are record company drivers, owners, as well as police officers, firemen, paramedics, especially here in the pandemic that we're going through, let alone just day-to-day operations of keeping peace in society so that we can all try to live our best lives. To do this and sit down and talk as three guys, it's not just to try to have an excuse or get out of jail free card from our spouses, is because we're not at a bar boozing it up.
Right.
We're talking and trying to bring a smile and bring a laugh to the people who choose to listen to this. And please subscribe and like.
You need to put that at the beginning of the episode.
Please subscribe and like, by the way.
Yeah.
What our goal is here is just to bring some fun and some comedy and some laughter about the horrible things that we see, because you can't bring them home.
Right.
You got to laugh it off. You got to come home to the spouse, to the kids, and you want to live your best life. You want them to live in their best life. And that's what this is all about. So to the wives out there, you know, hey, we're not at a bar boozing it up, chasing women. We are trying to bring the comedy to the masses.
Well said.
Thank you. Hey,
Take a bow.
Hey, I'm even waving.
Unit Castle, report to headquarters, without delay.
Something I did learn a long time ago, doing police work, doing law enforcement work, stay out of the damn office. Stay out the office, y'all.
And stay at home. Social distancing.
There couldn't be a better way to end this. When you have a gun on your hip and a badge on your chest, there are ways that we communicate with each other, and what you don't need to do is go to the office and dig in to what's being said around the office.
Right.
You'll get 5-6 badges, sworn law enforcement officers, and everything goes downhill really fast. And here's how that affects me, and here's what I learned from Hollywood and from training officer Alonzo. I learned a lot of important lessons from the guys who retired and
Lonzo,
who taught us how to do the job. Here's how I suffer from that. Miss Licious always has the news on, and I have to avoid it, and I avoid that by always having ESPN on.
Yeah.
And I look forward to the day that there's actually some live sports back on TV.
NASCAR's coming up. And we'll be directing traffic for that one. No fans allowed. We'll still be out here waiting.
Listen, if they send us up there, we're doing a live show. We're doing a live show from the
Got a tent set up on the.
Listen, we're pulling driver's door to driver door. We're gonna do a live show. And here's how I suffer from watching the news on the TV and listening to what's being said, because I'll walk in the office or I'll come home and the news is on and I hear that. Or I walk in the office and I hear those 5 and 6 law enforcement officers in the office talking about, it's never good. It's always about the administration. It's always about what needs to be better.
Everybody has a plan.
Yeah, everybody's got a plan, but everybody's got a complaint.
Right.
And that's what it all comes to. That's what the news is. The news gets negative most times. You know, there's very few positive things you hear in the news. When you do hear them, you know them because, like, man, that's a great damn story. That person really did a great job. Same thing in the office. When you walk in, everybody's complaining about, oh, the sergeant said this, the lieutenant did that, and same thing on the news.
Depends on which office you walk into. Shout out to my boys. Go ahead.
Yeah. Cage abandoned me. He transferred out to a different squad. But I'm still fighting the good fight.
Oh, it was probably in the dark at night. You just look and you see me in my blacked out scuba suit, and I'm just backing off of the edge. See you later.
Yeah.
It was more like a thumbs up. It wasn't even a bye. It was a thumbs up.
No, it was the alligator man running down the street away from me.
The alligator man. That's the alligator man. That's gonna be a soundbite.
The alligator man was fleeing the police.
That's the alligator man.
In a very distinct colored robe. That's all you need to know.
Dude, what I like, and you're probably gonna get to it, is it about leading the parade?
I did. Yeah. With your rope. Don't. God almighty. See what he does to me? I'm trying to build up.
I'm staying out of it.
Trying to build up a crescendo, end the show on a good note.
You're doing a good job.
I'm telling you, and that's what he does. He just fire extinguisher to my face. Stupid. All right. When I walk in the office, why I'm telling law enforcement, especially the younger officers who choose to listen to this, what you need to do is stay away and stay out of the office. Stop watching the news. During the pandemic, I've got just consumed with the news. Mm-hmm. And I've, past couple days, I'm good. I got ESPN back on, even though it ain't live. Like, that helps me recenter myself.
I even said I missed the old Castle who didn't watch the news.
Good part about these text messages is when you said that to me, I was like, you know what? I got to damn check myself, man. I got to damn check myself because something ain't right, and I could feel it, and your text helped me. So I appreciate that.
No problem.
You.
You're welcome.
But when I walk in the office, and I could be in the best mood, and this is dating back 10, 15 years. I could be in the best damn mood. I walk in that building, and there they are. They're circled up, and they're just, the lieutenant, the sergeant, blah, 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 nah, nah, nah. And I'm like, don't get involved, don't get involved. What happened?
Yeah.
What? What? Why did they tell you that? You got rolled up for what? And then, boom, there it happens. My body transforms. The uniform I was once wearing with a badge and a gun is gone. Now I have on some gold glittered suit with a big old top hat, and I now have it.
He's a drum mate. Yeah, the drum mate.
Yeah, I have that big flaming thing that the people who were circled up, they've turned into a parade behind me.
Yeah,
he's leading the band.
Yeah,
not the HBCU drum major. He ain't getting down. And be like,
oh no, I ain't got no funk.
He's the Harvard drum major.
I'm bringing. Listen, yes, I'm doing that, and he's just forcefully thrusting his hand up and down because I'm now leading this parade violently toward the administration.
I'm behind him. I'm the HBCU drum major. Like, yeah, go ahead, Castle.
I had nothing to do with any of this stuff. And I walk in the office.
Tell him.
Yeah, I hear the confessions. And now I'm going to convict the administration of what they've done wrong against my buddies, the people I work with, my comrades. And I've now transformed. I got a big top hat on and a big pole in my hand. It's on fire. It's got to be on fire.
Tell them what you said. Tell them what you said out there.
And now all of a sudden, yes, the circle of people is now a violent parade with pitchforks and flaming torches. And I'm leading the damn parade all the way to the administration. And that's why you got to stay at the office, because now I'm taking the whole damn fight straight to the administration. It doesn't matter who's at the damn top. I'm coming for you.
Dude, I used to like going in, and my one question would be, what happened to your car? What did you do this time?
Oh, man.
Units, Castle and Cage, off duty.
Oh, man.
El programa de Castle Gage no fue grabado ante una audiencia de estudio en vivo.